A while back, Skylab announced that some new things would be coming for Luminar Neo with the fall update. I just got my hands on a beta copy to try them out, and I'm excited to show you. Now, inside of Luminar Neo, you can do one-step photo restoration of your old photos. I'll introduce you to Luminar Spaces and show you what that's all about. The Relight AI tool has had a much-needed upgrade and a name change. And lastly, the much-awaited and much-discussed Luminar ecosystem. I'm Darlene with Digital Photo Mentor, and in this video, you'll see all of those things in action and get answers to some of your most burning questions. What is the ecosystem? How much is it to upgrade? Do I have to pay to get it? All of those questions and more will be answered. So if you're ready, let's dive in and see what's in this update. The first thing I want to show you is the new version of Relight. I'm not sure if they're going to be deleting Relight, but the new tool is called Light Depth. You'll find it in the creative section as well. In the beta version, it's right above Relight. When you open it, this is what you see. To start, just drag the amount up, and then we have a new section here where you can adjust where the light falls. My issue with the old Relight tool is that it only did light from the front and the back. So if you wanted to light up the subject that was in the middle of the picture, the foreground got lit up as well. Now you can adjust exactly where the light falls. Here you can see it on the foreground, and as I move it back, this map over here shows you where the light's falling. Now it's on the man and going further into the background. Once you get it where you want it, you can adjust the depth of the light, like so, the softness or blend, warm it up or cool it down. Let's give them a little bit more yellow. And then you can adjust the amount of the brightness near and far. This is the amount outside of this area. So if you want the foreground darker, you can do that. Likewise, you could brighten it. Let's make it darker. Same with the background. So you can really help the subject stand out more. Here's a before and after just with this one tool. It's doing a really great job to spotlight the man. Let's take a look at another example. It works well on floral and other kinds of images as well. Here, let's see how we can light up the flowers, soften it a little bit, and darken the background. There's a before and after. I've only played around with this tool a little bit, but so far I'm really impressed. One thing I wish that I could do is rotate this area so that the light would go more in a diagonal. Perhaps that will come in a later version. Keep in mind, I'm using a beta copy, which is the first iteration. By the time this tool comes out, it may be slightly different. Here's another image that has lighting problems, and using Relight lit up the foreground and the hat too much. I've already done develop to try and tone down the highlights and brighten the background a little bit. But let's see how light depth works here. Get it adjusted, make sure the foreground is being darkened, and we can actually brighten the background so that this hallway isn't quite so dark. It's doing a great job here of balancing the light better. So you can use this tool to brighten the background, like I did here on this image, or darken the background and brighten the subject, like I did here. So whether this tool replaces Relight AI or is a new one, it's a great addition to Luminar Neo. The next tool I want to show you is restoration. It's designed for fixing faded, old, or damaged photos. Previously, a job like this would be painstaking to do manually. So let's see how the restoration tool does. You can find it in the catalog module right under Upscale in the Enhancement Tools section. Just drag and drop your image into the tool, and then you have a choice of doing a full restoration, color only, or scratches. Since this is a color image with scratches, I'm going to do the full restoration. Once I click Restore, I'm going to speed up the video, but I'll let you know exactly how long it took to do this restoration. Here we go. And there's the finished image. It puts it into a new folder called Restoration, similar to what you find when it does HDR merge, pano, and so on. Overall, I'd say the results are pretty spectacular. I've done this one a couple of times though, so let's compare. I'm just going to add it to the album so we can see them all together. There's the original, the one I just created, and the one that it created previously. I actually think this one is better, but this one has better color. The bottom here and the top here didn't quite get fixed, but going from that to that or that in an instant is pretty impressive in my opinion. Let me show you a few more examples. I want to give a quick shout out to David, one of my DPM community members, who shared some of his scanned family photos with me so that I could demonstrate this module for you. Thanks, David. In this example, you see a very faded and damaged image. This is what I got when I ran the full restoration. Notice that it colorizes the image as well. That's not a problem because you can just take it into Edit and make it black and white as you would normally. But if you want it to be in color, this is a great option. I find that the restoration job here is incredible as well. Literally just drag it in and 30 seconds later, you have this finished product. Pretty incredible. For this image, I didn't want it to be in color, so I just ran the scratches option. This is the result. While it did a great job on the tear in the middle and the pieces missing, it didn't do anything on the border. When I ran the full restoration, this is what I got. I did a little bit of editing on this one to remove the color, fix the spots that it missed, and I used the portrait tools to smooth out the skin and change the eyes. So the restoration tool is going to be really valuable as a time saver for restoring old photos like this, generally family archives. In conjunction with the regular Luminar Neo tools, including the portrait ones, you can do a really good job on your family heirlooms. One thing I noticed is it has a problem with group photos. It tends to want to replace the face or the eyes. When I ran this image through, this is what I got. Again, notice it's in color, but look at the faces. They're a little bit odd. So what I did to fix it in this case was turn it to black and white, put the original image on top, and just masked the faces back in. It was still a lot quicker than doing all the restoration on the original image by hand. And I have every confidence that Skylum will improve this tool once it's released. Remember, I have a very early beta copy, and the program is still learning how to do this. So I'll send some images into Skylum to help it train the tool. One final example. Take a look at this image. The original is highly damaged, faded in some areas, and it looks like something stuck to the surface of the print in others. Let's see how the restoration module does on this one. Drag it in. I've already done this one in color, so to compare, I'm also going to run it with scratches and see the difference. Here we go. And there's the result. Here's the before and after. The color version has a little bit more detail, and again, it's filled in the edges. So if you want a total restoration, run the full version, and then just convert to black and white. But either way, doing this kind of restoration manually would take hours, and it literally took 30 seconds. So far, I'm really impressed with this tool, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Next, let's talk about spaces. This has been added as a new feature if you go to the bottom underneath albums. I've already created a couple of different spaces. What this does is allows you to create a gallery. It's similar to an album, but it publishes this gallery online so that you can share it with other people. Let's take a look. This is one I did for night photography. Notice there's a link to open this gallery. When I click it, it opens a web browser that looks like this. If you're logged into your Skylum account, you'll see your information here and a way to edit the gallery. If you are just viewing it, you can see the images full screen just by clicking the left and right arrows. Likewise, it shows the metadata if you choose that option. So, if you don't have a website or social media, this is a great way for you to be able to share your images. Now, let's see how to make a space. I'm going to select a few street photos, then go to the image menu at the top. Remember, if you are on Windows, that will be under the logo here. So, click Image and Publish to Space. You can see the night photography one we just looked at is already here. So you can add images to a space or create a new one. Let's call this one Street Photos. Once I hit Publish, it will export them and create the web gallery online. There they are, and we can open it to view the photos. If you don't see this Edit panel at the bottom, you just have to log into your account at the top. The Edit panel allows you to add some more photos, copy the link to the gallery, make them downloadable, and hide or show the metadata. So for now, the gallery is pretty simple. It's got square thumbnails and a black background. I wish there was a bit more flexibility or options to design the layout in terms of background color, size of the thumbnails, and arrangement. But for now, it's a pretty good start. If you want to add additional images to that space, you just go through the same step and choose the space you want to add them to. Once it's completed, again, you can just go straight to the gallery and there are your new images added. If you're not sure whether or not you get these things included with your Luminar Neo license, I'll cover that in a minute. Let's get through what's new and then I'll go through the pricing and options with you. Something else that will be new with the fall update is a Luminar AI Assistant. We don't have a lot of information about it yet, but I imagine that it will be something where you can ask questions inside of Luminar Neo and an AI bot will help you answer them. We'll have to wait and see what that one looks like once it's released. The last new thing that I want to talk about is the Luminar ecosystem. That involves cross-platform editing. So if you have a mobile device where you have Luminar Neo installed, you can use it to edit your photo on your mobile device and then sync it up with Luminar Desktop. Let me show you quickly how that works. I'm going to open a photo of my cat here in Luminar Mobile. I'm going to do a quick edit and then sync it. As you can see, I've turned it into a black and white. Now, all I have to do is save it inside Luminar Mobile, and then it will sync with spaces inside Luminar Desktop. There's the image in the Luminar space. Now, let me go back to desktop. Now, inside the desktop app, at the top, right under sample images, you'll find a new section called Luminar Mobile. Anything that you've edited in the mobile app will appear here. You can see that it wants me to import one photo. This one is new. So when I click it, now it's been imported to a folder called Space Imports. There you could see it. And the cool thing about this is that all the edits that I did on mobile appear here. Remember, I turned it into black and white? There you go. I also added some enhanced AI structure and a vignette. So all of the edits that are done on the mobile app transfer to the desktop app. How cool is that? From there, the images are available to add to albums and the new spaces. So you could create a gallery of your favorite phone images. At this time, it's not possible to send the image the other way. So you cannot send an image from Luminar Desktop to the phone. If you want to do that, you still have to use Luminar Share. I believe that's because the desktop version is a lot more complex in its editing tools. So if you send it to Luminar Mobile, it doesn't translate. But again, a reminder that this is still the beta version, so things may change. As of now, you can only do it one direction. That's it for the new things that have been announced. Now, let's get to those questions. If you're struggling to understand how to use all of the tools in Luminar Neo to make the best images possible, then Luminar Neo, the complete course, might be exactly what you need. You'll learn each tool step by step so it's not confusing, and your skills and knowledge will grow naturally so that you will have a great understanding of which tool to use to get the effect that you want. Included in the course are the raw files used to demonstrate in the videos, so you can follow along. There's also several bonuses, including skies, overlays, and a keyboard shortcut cheat sheet. For more information or to buy the course, click the link in the description area below. It's a complete Luminar education package. I did a survey of my email newsletter readers about the Luminar ecosystem and other things that have been announced for Luminar Neo this fall. If you'd like to get on my newsletter list, there's a link in the description area below for you to subscribe. Some of the most common questions I got were about pricing. In regards to the first question, do I have to pay for the update and the ecosystem if I have a subscription? The answer is no. Everything that you just saw demonstrated and the new assistant will be included if you have a subscription. In regards to the second question, if you have either canceled your subscription or if it has somehow lapsed, you will not be able to renew it. You must be on auto renew to continue with subscriptions. Skylum quietly eliminated subscriptions. So if you are buying Luminar for the first time, a subscription is not an option, just the perpetual license. So it sounds like they listened to all of you who didn't want subscriptions and have done away with it. But if you have a subscription, you will get all the new tools and you don't have to pay extra. Unfortunately, if you've canceled your subscription, there's no way to reactivate it. In regards to lifetime license questions, I bought a lifetime license for Luminar Neo when it came out. Would I get this update for free or do I have to pay? If you bought Luminar Neo after June 2025, you do not have to pay for the upgrade. If you bought it prior to that, you do. There are a few options for you in that regard. I'll come to that in a moment. If you own Luminar Neo or an older version of Luminar like AI or Luminar 4, there are loyalty discounts available, so you don't have to buy it from scratch. When you go to the Luminar page on the Skylum website, as long as you're logged into your account and you click purchase, it will know what you already own and will offer you the appropriate package. In regards to cloud and syncing questions, I already answered the first one earlier, but I'll go over it again. Currently, when you're using the Luminar ecosystem, syncing from mobile to desktop is possible, but not the other way around. So it's only one direction currently. In regards to the second question, do I have to upload or store my images in the cloud to edit them? No, you do not. So it is not about cloud editing, it's just about syncing from one device to the other. In regards to the new spaces, the last question about storage applies. Is there a limit to cloud storage or extra fees if I go over the allotted amount? No, there's no limit or fees currently. So when you're creating your spaces and making your shareable galleries, currently there is no limit and you won't be charged extra regardless of the number of images you upload. That may change in the future, but for now, there are no limits and no extra charges. And finally, some other random questions that I got. If I don't have the ecosystem, will it impact my ability to use Luminar Neo as a plugin for Adobe applications? No, not at all. You can continue to use Lightroom and or Photoshop with Luminar as a plugin. Next, does getting the ecosystem affect my current subscription in any way? Again, if you have a current subscription for Luminar Neo that is active and set to auto renew, nothing will change. You don't have to do anything, you won't be charged any extra, and your license and your package remains the same. But you will have all of the new options available to you. Lastly, does the ecosystem provide any additional photo editing tools that are not inside Luminar Neo? No, it's not an editing system. Luminar continues to be the photo editing application. The ecosystem is just ways to share your images from your mobile device to your desktop and from the desktop application to an online gallery that is shareable with friends. Now let's talk about how much it costs. If you are brand new to Luminar Neo and you don't own it currently, you will be considered a new customer. You have three options available for you. If you just want the desktop version only, you don't need the ecosystem or anything else, then the desktop perpetual license will be the one for you. Currently, it's on special for $99 US. If you live in another country, the amount will be shown in your local currency. If you want to have the benefits of the ecosystem to share your images from your mobile and to online, then cross device platform license is what you're going to want. And finally, the last option includes all of the above and access to a creative asset library for a year. That includes things like skies, LUTs, and presets. Remember to apply my discount code DPM10 when you check out. That will give you an additional 10% off whichever option you choose. As I mentioned a moment ago, if you purchase Luminar Neo after June 2025, you get this update for free. If you bought it prior to that, you have two options. You can get just the upgrade for $49, which includes 1 year access with the generative AI tools and the new tools like restoration and light depth. If you also want to have the ecosystem, then your upgrade will be $69. My discount code DPM10 should work for these as well to give you another 10% off. And finally, if you are a legacy user, meaning you have Luminar 3, 4, or Luminar AI, and you want to upgrade to the current version of Luminar Neo, you have the following two options, with or without the ecosystem. Remember to use the discount code as well. Whew, that was a lot, right? I hope all of your questions have been answered and you enjoyed the overview of the new tools. If you have any additional questions, please put them in the comment area below, and if I don't know the answer, I'll find out for you. Until next time, take care. Keep practicing your photo editing and remember to subscribe. If you'd like to watch another video here on YouTube, click one on the screen now.